everybody, it's your boy J-Bone the Man, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about PUBG versus Fortnite, and I'm sure you guys have heard this from so many other YouTubers, so many other Twitch streamers, anybody who even really talks about video games or plays video games has spoken about this topic. But I just want to bring my own input in on the topic and pretty much discuss what I personally think is the better game, whether it would be PUBG or Fortnite. Now, to try and tell you guys the differences between Fortnite and PUBG is very complicated because these games are basically two complete different beasts. I mean, Fortnite is a third-person game, requires building skills, and it has a whole lot of other features that are not implemented in PUBG, where PUBG is more about situational awareness, knowing what's going on around you, and it's more into a first-person aspect, I guess. A lot of people don't care for the third-person view in PUBG too much. It used to, but once first-person came in, come on guys, let's be honest, that pretty much took over the game, and that led the future of PUBG. Now, I'm not going to really mark anything about the games or list things like 1, 2, 3, the top 3 things about whatever. I'm just going to tell my personal feelings about each game, about PUBG and Fortnite, my personal experiences with both of the games. I mean, I've loved both of them, I enjoy both of them, they're both a blast. I'm not a man to really put two things that are so different. That's like comparing Call of Duty to Battlefield. Two different games. I don't even see why it's a war between the games, because you should just play them both and enjoy them. They're both two separate games. You should have fun with both of them. They're both two different experiences. They're both a blast. So, I mean, if you really want to cut down to the chase, I would say just play them both. But one must be chosen. So I will just explain my favorite parts about both games, my most despised things about both games, and then we'll kind of make a roundup point at the end and basically make our decision. Let's start with PUBG, and the first thing about PUBG that I love the most is the realism. How the map looks, the scenery, the way the weapons look, sound, feel, recoil patterns, everything of that such makes PUBG really, really fun to play. PUBG just has a great survival aspect to it, and almost like a military-based style game, which I really personally enjoy out of a video game. That's kind of what I prefer compared to Fortnite, which is a little bit more goofy, more fun, uplifting, but it still has the same survival aspects. But what I'm trying to compare with the survival theme is that PUBG, you almost fear for your life, compared to in Fortnite, where I don't fear for my life as much. I kind of just blatantly go out and do my thing. Don't get me wrong, that's not how you win in Fortnite. That's not the same plan every single time around. But I could be a lot more aggressive, lighthearted, and I'm a lot more relaxed when playing Fortnite compared to PUBG. PUBG just has that, it puts you in this zone. I can't even explain the zone unless you actually played PUBG. Every person who's played PUBG knows this zone. And it's not really a thing that you learn on later in the game, because later in the game you kind of get used to PUBG. You know, you calm down a little bit and you kind of understand the game more. It's more when you first get the game and it's like, it's intense, freaky, really good stuff. And that feeling still goes on to when you are like 300 hours plus into the game. Don't get me wrong, it still has you hooked like that, but it's not as intense as at first. But that's really what brings PUBG into the field, and I hope that it keeps that feeling and people still have that, even if you're like putting thousands of hours into this game. I hope it still can strongly hold on to that, since they are speaking about expanding this game on for years and years to come. But sadly, PUBG has a downside. Just like any other game in this universe, it will always have a downside. Sadly, PUBG's downsides are very, very big. Not as game-breaking as they used to be, but it's still some very off delays, choppy moments where you're running up, you're trying to open your inventory, bam, hits you with some choppy moments. You get into a gunfight, bam, hits you with some choppy moments. It really messes with the game flow and the gameplay, because who wants to be hit with all those obnoxious, disruptions? I mean, if I'm in a gunfight, I want to have a gunfight, the fairest fight that I could possibly get. Not, I have to survive, not even a second of choppiness, but even not even a second of choppiness will, decide the factor of who will win that gunfight. It's very aggravating. It causes a lot of disruption to the game itself, and I highly hate it. So I don't know what to say about that. I mean, I keep hoping they'll fix it, but it seems like they're really focusing on other things in this game to keep people interested instead of just improving the game itself. I mean, let's look at Fortnite with one map, only one map, and they are just like expanding and having a blast. Everybody's playing it, everybody's enjoying it. Why? Because it works. Because it works, and that's basically the only thing. If PUBG worked like Fortnite, it would be an even, fair competition again. And I feel like more people would actually hop back and forth. But once you feel Fortnite, it's kind of hard to come back to PUBG unless you're someone like me who's been playing PUBG before it even went out into the official release. It's hard to say. It's very hard to say. But I think this is a really good way to transition into Fortnite, because Fortnite is a game that runs perfect on console. And I think that's really how they really took off with the wave, was because console was added into the conclusion, unlike PUBG, where PUBG had to run solely off of PC players. I mean, they put it on Xbox, but let's be honest, really? PUBG on Xbox? It doesn't work that smooth. And compared to at least PC, it's a lot of controls, a lot of things you have to do, and it just runs a whole lot more smooth on PC. I tried on Xbox. I'll pass, okay? I'll just say that I'll pass. Fortnite, on the other hand, started off perfect on console. Fortnite ran smooth, worked fine, no issues, rarely any frame. It was just a perfect game for console. So not only did PC get a hold of Fortnite, but console did too. So now you have two platforms that are really pushing this game strong, making it show out more than, a game that would be only on one exclusive, not console, but PC, really. A game spreads more and gets more views and more people when multiple platforms play that same game. But when you're on one platform, you're only going to really get the views for that one platform, because not everybody else can play that game. Another thing that made Fortnite stand out so much was it's not copying PUBG like a lot of other games tried to do, with the same exact way that PUBG kind of laid out their game. Fortnite came in with a new aspect, saying, hey, here's a shooting game where, just like the same battle royale, last man standing wins, but we're going to add construction, building, cool stuff like that. And that was a perfect twist to stand Fortnite out from the rest of the crowd. It's unique, it's interesting, and it's different. Now, the construction, it's very complex at first. It's kind of hard to understand, but once you get some hotkeys set up and you understand all the buttons and get a little bit quicker, building is just a breeze, and it just puts a whole nother level to just what a shooting game actually is. Scratch Battle Royale in general, this is a whole different idea on shooting games. Shooting games usually don't typically have building functions added into them that often, unless if it's some more of a realistic type, simulator or something where you're building constructions or you're building a fort or something like that. It's going to take a little bit longer. This is quick, fast building movements that allow you to get deeper into combat, be more aggressive with the enemy, and it's just a tad bit more fun and fast paced. So it's a lot more easier to get into Fortnite than PUBG, because PUBG is a much slower based game. It will take you almost an hour sometimes to finish a complete game. Fortnite, people run up on each other, a lot more fast paced action. It's a lot more of an aggressive game, if that's what you prefer. And just like all good things, there's bad things in games as well, as always. But yes, Fortnite does have bad things that I despise in it, just like PUBG does. And I just said that I enjoyed it, but it really does annoy me. The building. Okay, I'm just going to say the building. I don't 110% love the building in Fortnite. When I play a first-person shooter, even a third-person shooter, I enjoy focusing on the gun mechanics and the one-on-one weapon fight. Mostly. That's what I enjoy out of first-person shooters. Whoever has the best accuracy, whoever has the best aim, or whoever has the best shot will win the gunfight. Fortnite is a completely different story. It's whoever has the best building basically wins in Fortnite. You can pretty much build wherever you want. You get shot at, you can build a mini fort if you're quick enough. It's all about construction, whoever can outbuild the opponent and win the match. It's less about the gun skill and more about the building. And that can get pretty annoying when you're a newcomer to Fortnite and you're coming from a game like Call of Duty or Battlefield, Halo, Gears of War, any game that really even involves a weapon. I mean, in games like this, it's the same exact thing. You know, you see an enemy and you start shooting. Whoever has the best accuracy will win the fight. This is very, very different to that whole scenario. You know, you see someone and it's almost like a puzzle game. You have to figure out how to build around them, build around what they're bringing at you, close down the fight. It's a lot of different aspects to Fortnite that you have to get the hang of before you can completely understand the game. It's not like you're just going to hop in and become a master of Fortnite like you can on many other games that don't really require that much extra work. This gives you the extra steps, some extra features that you have to get the hang of before you can actually become really good at the game. Now, at the end of the day, when I have to compare both of these games, Fortnite and PUBG together, it's really hard, like I said before, to make a comparison on these two games. They're two completely different beasts, and I don't even 100% agree with comparing these two games myself. I think it's kind of ridiculous for people to even try to compare these two games, just like I compared it to before, like Call of Duty and Battlefield. How can you compare those two games? They're two completely different games. Battlefield's almost like a military realistic type game, not really completely realistic, but you understand what I'm saying there. And Call of Duty's more like an arcadey, you know, run and gun type of video game. They are two separate games. Fortnite is a completely separate game from PUBG, so it's really hard to compare the both of them. So at the end of the day, personally, I prefer PUBG just because of how it plays, the way it looks, the way it plays out, everything of that sort, how the guns sound, how they feel, the recoil patterns, everything. I just kind of prefer the feel of PUBG, but that's not an ultimate saying for everybody, because not everybody can run PUBG. Really, how I can really compare these two games is that if you want something that has better performance, will work better, more reliable, and will give you a complete experience, I would play Fortnite. I would definitely go Fortnite because it's a very smooth playing game. They're constantly adding things to it to make it spiced up, more exciting, more fun, and it's free to play. I mean, you don't even have to pay a dime to get on this game, and it works better than PUBG, which is kind of sad, but that's just how it goes. And if you're looking for more of a competitive shooter experience, more intense, realistic, you know, survival game, I would head over to PUBG. PUBG gives you all those feelings, and it's great. It really gets to you, and it really puts you into the zone that a lot of people and a lot of companies struggle to get you into that zone. And I gotta say, PUBG nailed it, and they'll probably continue to nail it down the road as they continue to add more maps, more content, more weapons, and stuff like that. It should become fun. I want to thank you guys for stopping in on another video that I've decided to post up here. It's been a little bit, and I know it's been a little while since I posted videos, but I want to thank you all for continuing to support this channel, stopping by the videos, leaving a like, commenting, all that fun stuff. I thank you all, and I love you all for doing these things for my channel. And as always, thank you for stopping by, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Shut the fuck up, nigga. Bet up, say you rich. Straight set. Different color diamonds, I'm a peacock. Different color diamonds, I'm a peacock. Spot full of birdies with no trees.